Hey everyone, so the reason why I'm doing a joint review from episode 4 and episode 5, because I think we need to get a bit going, we do. Here's the review. Episode 4 of Life is Strange starts. This episode basically is the episode where lots of bad shit happens. At the end, a person will actually die. So at the start of this, you're in your new reality with Chloe, and you're talking to her. And one of the big decisions at the end you need to make is that you either kill Chloe or you keep her alive. But any way of shape or form, you still have to get back to your present timeline. Also, William is still alive, and things have changed, and you've never met Warren before. Basically, Nathan Prescott filled that spot in. So, when you go back to your usual timeline, you find out that you've been investigating, looking for clues, and you've been in Chloe's womb. You have, so you go back to the school to get some more clues from Nathan, as of a phone, and also from Frank. You do need a code, but that'll be much later. You talk to some people, find out if Nathan's around, and he's not, but really he is, and he's just coming back as soon as you get the phone. And then Nathan and Warren fights, and then the second big choice happens. You can either intervene or you can just leave it. So after that, whatever choice you make, it's kind of like Warren is still a badass, he is. After that, you need to go to Frank, you do it, and then this ends up in multiple ways. You can either be nice with him and no one gets hurt or killed, or you could either get him to shut the door, but that's only if this happens, if that Frank and the dog dies. And then you can ask him to shut the door when you rewind, and then only him will get hurt in the legs. So you do that, you go back, and the big part is the investigation. Now, depending how Chloe is, depending from your choices, it's more like she's either sad or happy. But you end up investigating, and also David gets kicked out, but he becomes a hero within the next episode. And later on, there's a Vortex party. I may be missing stuff out, but there's a Vortex party during the end of the episode, and you're going to go and warn people about Nathan, and I think Chloe wants to kill Nathan, but really, Nathan's already dead. So you go to the party looking for him, trying to get into Vortex Club, and you see Victoria. You either can warn her, not warn her, or when you're talking, warn her or not warn her. I would say warn her, even though she's a bit of a bitch, warn her. So you do, and Jefferson announced the winner, which is Victoria, for the Everyday Hero contest. And we know that, well, Victoria's going to die next, but you go back to the junkyard, you do, and, well, it's all been a trap because Max has been drugged and Chloe has been shot. Episode 5 of Life is Strange is basically the last episode to an end. And by the end of this choice, you're going to have to make the hardest choice that Dectoad Entertainment, well, tells you what you have to do. So at the start of the episode, you're with Jefferson, you're over most of it, and you go through different timelines, you do, repeating different stuff, and going through a separate timeline where Jefferson and Nathan's got arrested. Unfortunately, the storm still happens and Chloe dies on that one. So, by the end of it, you're having to be on your own timeline and go back to the very, very, very beginning. Just kidding. You're having to go back to that night in episode 4, and you go and find a picture of Warren. Now, you tell Warren before this, you tell Warren that you have powers, you do, and you can time travel, and he believes you, he does. And you can either choose before you leave, either to, well, leave it, hug, or kiss. I chose kiss, because why not? So you go back, you tell Chloe everything you do, everything that's happened, and you go and, I guess you go and tell David, and you follow up what Max wants to do, and then she comes back for a bit, and then she faints, and then you're in the biggest nightmare scene you are. This nightmare scene is basically everything that you've done since episode 1 is preparing again here. So, and you also, one of the coolest bits about this is that you go to the diner, you have to have a code, and you find it is actually the one that's on the window screen in the toilets. You go out and you see there's other people, and then you see another Max, another you, and it's basically, she says, it's like Maxes that you leave behind. So when you rewind, like for instance, so when Max was about to save Chloe, of course she's rewinding and created another timeline, and she left that Max behind, and that other Max saved Chloe, but the first Max didn't save Chloe, and Chloe's dead in that one. So really, Chloe was always originally dead, if that helps you understand. So by the end of it, I'm just going to skip everything ahead. You either have to sacrifice Chloe or sacrifice Arcadia Bay. If you sacrifice Chloe, then you save everyone, but if you sacrifice Arcadia Bay, you save Chloe, and most people die in Arcadia Bay, so you have to choose. Now, I would have chosen both, I would. But so by the end of it, it's either if you sacrifice Chloe, funeral, if you sacrifice Arcadia Bay, then not really much change, but you stay onto this timeline, and you never, and I guess Max never really uses her rewind power ever again. But with the other one, if you sacrifice Chloe, then all that's happened will happen again, just without Chloe, and yeah, so that's Life is Strange. So, episode 4 gets 9 out of 10, and episode 10 gets 9 out of 10. I know the one score down may seem a bit too harsh, but that's my opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we're going to be doing Life is Strange Before the Storm as of next on our list to do reviews. I'm trying to get all them done within the month of December. If you couldn't tell, I've got a bit of a cold I have, but I'm still here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.